Liverpool is falling apart, Slot losing control, coach's dismissal approaching, and the club is preparing another top reinforcement. Messi, officially to play until 41, Bayern Munich roster shakeup, and Ronaldo sets another incredible record. All of this and more in today's episode. Lionel Messi has officially extended his contract with Inter Miami until the end of 2028, and did so without any doubts. In an interview with NBC, the Argentine admitted, "Honestly, the decision was easy. I'm happy to live in Miami, as is my family." He also added that he always makes decisions based on his physical and psychological state, and currently feels great. Messi joined the club in the summer of 2023 and has already played an impressive 83 matches, scoring 73 goals and providing 37 assists. The new contract means he will remain with Inter until he is 41, and it seems this is where he will end his career. Liverpool is no longer saved by character or individual flashes of brilliance. The 3-2 defeat to Brentford was their fourth consecutive loss in the Premier League, and now Arne Slot's team has only one win in their last 7 matches. And that was in the Champions League against Eintracht. In the league, it's a complete collapse. Slot himself admitted, "This is the worst match of my tenure. I don't have clear answers." According to ESPN, the club's management is not panicking, yet a dismissal is not on the agenda. Slot has support amid a difficult schedule and injuries, but if the failure continues, especially against Arsenal and Manchester City, the question of confidence in him will become acute. And here it's worth mentioning, the championship of the 2024-2025 season was still Jurgen Klopp's team. It was he who assembled the squad that won the APL, even if Slot was already on the bench. After 9 years at Anfield, Klopp left the club with a clear structure, emotion, and style. The first half of the season is his legacy, but spring and summer are Slot's. And what do we see? A record €480 million on transfers, a complete reconstruction, and no magic. The team lacks synchronicity, plays without a system, and victories, if they happen, are individual actions, not the result of coaching work. Slot's Liverpool is so far only a shadow of Klopp's Liverpool, and even emotional criticism of opponents doesn't help. After the defeat to Manchester United at Anfield, Slot criticized the opponent's style, claiming that deep defense and long balls are not for top clubs. Ruben Amorim responded instantly, "I don't care what Slot says. I evaluate my team myself. We need to play better with the ball, and we will." And he does. Manchester United defeated Brighton and has already jumped to 4th place, which is the Champions League zone. Slot is falling, Amorim is rising, so Liverpool has crumbled. What next? How long will this decline last? It's time to ask out loud. Slot out? Or is it too early? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's discuss it together. Meanwhile, in Liverpool, preparations are underway for another big decision, this time a transfer. The club has intensified its search for a potential successor to Mohamed Salah, and Real Madrid winger Rodrygo has become one of the main candidates. According to e-notices.cat, the Reds have returned to the idea of signing the Brazilian, whom they had been monitoring since the summer. Salah's contract is valid until the summer of 2027, but the management understands the 33-year-old forward may leave earlier. Interest from Saudi Arabia is not fading, and Mo himself does not rule out a move to the Middle East. The intensity of the APL is becoming increasingly difficult for him each year. Rodrygo, who is 24, remains a rotation player at Real Madrid. Under Xabi Alonso, he does not have a stable starting spot, which causes frustration. His versatility, the ability to play on both wings, as a number 10, or even a centre forward, makes him an ideal option for Liverpool, who plans to refresh their attack. Transfermarkt values him at €80 million. Manchester City is also closely monitoring Rodrygo's situation, seeing him as a long-term reinforcement. If Salah indeed leaves, the Brazilian's transfer could become one of the loudest moves next summer, and Liverpool has already shown this summer that they know how to make big transfers, although their effectiveness so far raises many questions. Munich's Bayern is preparing a major overhaul of its defense. According to Florian Plettenberg, the club's sporting director Max Ebel has already met in Munich with Marc Guéhi's agent Gordon Stipik. The 25-year-old Crystal Palace centre-back is one of the main candidates to strengthen Vincent Kompany's team. Guéhi has a valid contract with the Londoners until the summer of 2026, but, according to British sources, he does not plan to extend it. He has played over 160 matches for Palace and helped the club win the FA Cup last season. His versatility, stability, and leadership qualities are exactly what Bayern is looking for amidst the potential departure of two key centre-backs. The first is Dayot Upamecano. The Frenchman's contract expires in the summer, and he has not yet shown readiness to extend it. That is why a transfer battle is already forming around him. Chelsea, Manchester United, and Liverpool are preparing to compete for the defender if Bayern decides to sell him in winter to avoid losing him as a free agent. The estimated sum of £52 million seems inflated, given the remainder of his contract, but sources in England suggest it includes bonuses and compensation for an early transfer. The second is Kim Min-jae, who may be put up for transfer due to inconsistent form and interest from APL clubs. Nico Schlotterbeck from Borussia Dortmund is also on the list of alternatives, but Guéhi is the main target. Interestingly, Guéhi himself is not against changing clubs, and Bayern is an ideal option for the next step in his career. At the same time, Real Madrid and Liverpool are also closely monitoring the situation, especially if Upamecano does leave Munich. Thus, Bayern faces a strategic choice: to retain leaders or bet on a new generation. Arsenal legend Thierry Henry is convinced the Londoners have a real chance to win the Premier League this season. According to the Frenchman, Mikel Arteta's team's main advantage is the squad depth that was previously lacking. The squad has become bigger, and we must respect any rotation Mikel proposes. That's what he was aiming for, to have options. They analysed what they lacked over the last 3 years, when players like Odegaard, Saliba, or Saka were injured, and realised there wasn't enough depth, Henry noted. He also praised young talents Nwaneri, Duman, and Lewis Skelly, and emphasised that having players capable of filling in for a striker, if he doesn't score, is key to winning the championship. I always believed Arsenal could win the league, because you dream and hope, but for the first time in a long time, I see a team that is truly capable of doing it. Not only as an Arsenal fan, but also as a football fan and analyst, Henry added. Currently, the Gunners lead the APL table with 19 points after 8 matches. Arteta continues to rotate, and the team shows stability, and that's exactly what was missing in previous seasons. So, is it really time for a championship? Lamine Yamal is once again in the spotlight, this time not for his play, but for his outspoken statements. Ahead of El Clásico, the Barcelona winger participated in the Kings League show, where he discussed the upcoming match between their teams with Ibai Llanos. But the conversation quickly turned into a provocation. When Gerard Piqué asked if Real Madrid was in the Kings League, Yamal couldn't hold back. "They steal, they constantly complain," he stated, adding a gesture that left no doubt about his opinion. And when Llanos mentioned that Santiago Bernabeu is a difficult stadium, Lamine smiled and reminded him, "I've done it before, don't you remember? Last time I was there, the score was 4-0, hinting at Real Madrid's rout last season." These words caused a wave of outrage in Madrid. According to Marca, they were perceived in the Real Madrid dressing room as disrespect, not only to the club, but also to his Spanish national team teammates. Merengue's captain Dani Carvajal intends to speak personally with Yamal after the match to explain that such statements harm the atmosphere in the national team. Interestingly, just a few months ago, it was Carvajal who publicly defended Yamal when he came under criticism for off-field behaviour. Now, Real Madrid believes that the young player has crossed the line, and his words have only added fuel to the fire before the main match of the season. Real Madrid head coach Xabi Alonso reacted restrainedly. "I will not go into details. There are many statements from Barcelona representatives, and I cannot analyze them all. Write in the comments, Yamal hero or provocateur? Should Carvajal put him in his place?" Cristiano Ronaldo is once again in the spotlight, this time thanks to a milestone goal. In the 6th round match of the Saudi Arabian Championship against Al Hazem, The Portuguese scored in the 88th minute, setting the final score 2-0 in favor of Al Nassr, and it was his 950th career goal in official matches. Ronaldo is the first footballer in history to reach this mark. And although he is 40, he continues to score with a regularity that even young stars do not demonstrate. Can he reach 1,000? Only 50 left. Write in the comments. The Napoli-Inter match in the 8th round of Serie A ended with a 3-1 victory for the hosts. But the main drama unfolded not on the scoreboard, but on the sidelines. After Calhanoglu's penalty, which narrowed the gap for the Milanese, an altercation broke out between the Azzurri bench and Dumfries due to a collision with Oliveira. Antonio Conte couldn't hold back and yelled at the Dutchman, which angered Lautaro Martinez. The Inter captain responded with a gesture implying that Conte was a coward. This further enraged the Napoli coach, and referee Mariani showed him a yellow card. Conte exclaimed, "I must be respected." But it didn't end there. When passions seemed to have subsided, Lautaro repeated the gesture, this time even more provocatively. In response, as reported by Corriere dello Sport, Conte couldn't hold back and exclaimed, "What an asshole." Serie A got a new hot duel, not between clubs, but between an attacking leader and a coach who once worked together. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action, and have a wonderful day.